Hey, it's Kim Bonadio from Blondie Salons. Wanted to talk to you guys about something that I've been doing actually since the start of my career, which is just calling back and checking in with my guests after I've seen them for that first visit. I used to be really afraid to do this because I always was worried that if I called and said, "Hey, Susie, how do you like your hair?" that Susie was going to be like, "I hate my hair." And then I was going to cry. But you know what? It took me a little bit of time and some confidence to realize that it's better if I call and say, "How do you like your hair?" And if they said, "Hey, actually, my highlights could be brighter," or "I'm too bright," or "I wish my bang were a little bit shorter," or anything, it's easier if I ask and then they respond it back to me versus the client then sitting there and sitting at home and feeling unhappy and then making that phone call to the salon is stressful. And then from that perspective, it just becomes a negative. Whereas if I'm making the phone call and I'm checking on them and showing that I care about them, it becomes a positive. So it took me a little bit of time to get that, and I really want to acknowledge that for you guys because please realize not every phone call that I've made has been a good one. I'm going to show you a couple clips of me following up with some clients. And one thing, again, just to realize is if I ever had a call where someone wanted to adjust something, I always tell my guests, it's not a big deal. This is my job. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Just let me know what you think and we can totally adjust and change up some stuff. And nothing is so permanent that we can't fix it. Let me walk you through how I plan out my phone calls to follow up with new guests. So what I'll do is, let's say that today I have a new guest and her name is Beth. What I then will do is I'll make myself a sticky note and I'm going to put it on, for those of you that are using like the Summit planners, you can go ahead and go out, flip out to a week ahead and put the sticky note on that date. That way a week from now when I come in, I'll remind myself that I need to go ahead and follow back up with Beth. That day that I make the phone call, I be sure that I have a complete printed history of what I did for Beth today. And then I'll call her, including on that history as her retail. And I'll call her and I'll say, "Hey Beth, it's Kim, just calling to check and see, how did you like the foil, balayage, cut, whatever we did? How is that Kerastase Fondant Magistral working out?" Whatever it is that I sold her. And I'll go ahead and I'll make sure that I'll follow back up with her on the product as well as the service. Also on that sticky note, if there's anything that maybe we had discussed, let's say that I did a haircut for her today, but we discussed possibly doing highlights, I'll put that on the sticky note too. That way it just refreshes my memory when I call her next week to say, "Hey, don't forget, give me a ring if you want to go ahead and do those highlights." And then of course, the last thing that I have on that history would also be the date of their next visit. In case I do just end up leaving a message, I'll just say, "Hey, looking forward to seeing you on June 3rd, 2 o'clock, at whichever location I'm in," and let them know that I'm looking forward to seeing them for their next visit, and they can always feel free to call me back. So just think about, have your tools ahead of you, have a plan, make sure that you've got your day planned out. I love these, by the way, our planners. We are addicted to them. But part of using that planner is you can plan out to follow back up with your new guests. So I'm going to show you a little bit of live calls I've done, and again, sharing some of what I've done, but don't be afraid, make that phone call. Trust me, it's kind of like, I always say, it's like going on a date. You want to make sure everybody liked the date. Are we going to have another date? And, I'm wishing you lots of successful dates. Before I make the follow-up phone call, I'll first pull a complete history of my guest's first visit. This way I can see any retail items that they purchased, read my notes on any other systems we may have discussed, and I'll also have their formula in front of me in case they have any questions. I also make a note of our next scheduled visit so that I can remind the guest when we'll be seeing each other again. I'm calling you from Blondie Salons. How are you? I'm excellent, my dear. I just wanted to give you a quick call and check in. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we did your color and just wanted to follow up, make sure that everything's working out great and that you're still happy with the shade. Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear it. Perfect. Okay, great. I just like to do a quick check-in. Yes, I've got you April 10th, 10 a.m. and I'm going to see you at the Waltham location. And please make sure you tell your daughter that I did follow up with Amy and thanked her for sending you in. Oh, nice. Oh, good. Oh, good. I'm so so glad. She's a doll, yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. It was my pleasure. So I will look forward to seeing you in a few weeks then. Okay, take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Calling you from Blondie Salons. I just wanted to give you a quick call and follow up on our visit from a couple of weeks ago and see how your haircut's behaving. I hope everything has been great. I hope it's been easy for you to style. And as I mentioned to you that day, if you have any questions or concerns, you can always feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, I know we're scheduled to see each other in early June. Feel free to reach out if you want to pop in sooner. And otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing you then. Hope everything is great. And the number at the salon if you need me is 617-964-6545. Thanks. Bye. From Blondie Salons. How are you? Good. I hope I'm not getting you at a bad time. I just wanted to give you a quick call, honey, and follow up. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we did your color and your cut, and I wanted to make sure everything is working out great for you. Oh, good. I'm sure you're much better at styling it than you're giving yourself credit for. But good, I'm glad. And the highlights and the end shade, everything is still behaving really well. Excellent. Yeah, I want to say I think we're getting back together. It's April 18th, so in about 3 more weeks we'll be back together. And have you been having good luck with the extension system so far too? Awesome. Right. Yeah, I do feel like it takes almost 8 weeks for you to notice, but I'm glad you're able to be consistent because truthfully, I've had such great feedback. I really do think probably by the time we see each other next, we'll be feeling a little bit more like you can see visual improvement. Okay. Awesome. All right. I'm so glad. Well, I just wanted to give a quick check-in. I talked to Bryn also and I thanked her for sending you in. So yeah, she was so excited that you made it in. So I'm glad everything is great. And again, any questions, any issues, you can totally feel free to reach out to me. You know where I am. Okay, honey. Otherwise, have a good few weeks. Yeah, I'll see you on the 18th. Okay, hon. Take care. Thanks. Bye. I'm so good. So I know some of these live videos were long and obviously lots of pausing, but they are real phone calls. And I hope that I've given you something to think about today and something that you can try to be one of your best practices as the years go on in your career. Thanks again for watching. It's Kim Bonadio, Blondie Salons.